Good morning, bird brains. Out in the Dyna today. Today we're just going to go through just kind of what I've been up to. It's been a while since I've been able to update you guys on a lot of stuff, and I've got some splaining to do. So if you noticed last week, there were no videos last week. If you didn't notice that, awesome. That's pretty much what I wanted. But if you did notice it, I'm sorry. I was not able to give you guys a little bit of notice before that happened, but it literally just snuck up on me to the point where I was like, I'm good, I've got videos, oh crap, I've got nothing, and now I can't work on videos. So, long story short-ish, I've recently been promoted at work, and the reason I do the air quotes is because my title didn't change, my pay did not change. I just took on a whole lot more work because the guy that was right above me went on to a different department, so I am now in charge of everything. And it's a very recent change, and I know that my company will make it right. I absolutely love the company I work for. I've got nothing but great things to say about them. Just to give you kind of a hint of how much I like it, I was offered another position at another company for about 30% more pay. Yes, 30%, 30, and I turned it down because I just like this company so much. The benefits are great. Everything they do for their employees is basically what I tell everyone is that this company is the company that every other company says they are. You know, they talk about like the transparency and the caring about you and treating you not like a number but as a person. Like, this company actually does all those things. But anyways, I digress. My responsibilities at work have just, oh man, I was afraid about that bump. My responsibilities at work have been far more than what I'm used to, and it's been stressing me out quite a bit. It's basically just trial by fire at this point, which I'm doing well at. I feel that I learn most that way, and I do well in that type of environment, so I'm doing good. It's just, it was a big change that I really wasn't ready for, and it took a lot out of me during the day to where in the evenings I just was not down to go ride or go do anything besides just go home and just chill, basically just veg out. But that is not the reason that I did not get you guys videos. The reason I brought that up is because with this new change in responsibilities and stuff like that, I now have to go to conferences and stuff like that every now and then. And starting tomorrow, actually, this video is coming out like 2 weeks late, so just don't try to wrap your brain around the timeline. But tomorrow I'm taking off to Austin for 3 days, which is really close to San Antonio. Literally, I could just drive up and down each day. It's only about, from where I live to where the conference is at, it's only about 50 minutes, 50, to drive back and forth. But our company wants us to be able to participate in the networking events and stuff like that, which takes place in the evening and usually involves alcohol, so they don't want us driving back and forth, which I totally understand. So they're putting us up in a hotel for 2 nights, 3 days, and then when I get back, Miss Bird's parents are actually in town. They're visiting from Iowa, so I took off the rest of the week to go hang out with them, and obviously I'm not going to be editing videos and stuff like that while they are in town, just out of respect. And the reason I wasn't able to backlog videos is just because the weather has been stupid, guys. I mean, it's been raining for 7-8 days at a time, to where I just can't get any ride time in. We were actually supposed to have a group ride yesterday that got pushed back to the 27th because it was going to rain, and it pretty much rained all day. But recently, I mean, with the change in video schedules going to only 2 uploads a week as opposed to 3, it really has helped quite a bit as a creator. Just kind of take a step back and reevaluate. I listened to a podcast. It's Rhett and Link's Ear Biscuits. Rhett and Link are pretty popular YouTube creators. There's a good chance you know who I'm talking about. But they also do a podcast, and every so often they'll do podcasts that are kind of focused around them as content creators and kind of the challenges they face and things like that. And recently one of their episodes was talking about YouTube burnout and how to avoid it. Granted, they got off topic for most of the episode. That's kind of what they're known for. But at the very end, they talked about how you can't let YouTube become your life. And I was slowly starting to fall into that trap. And they said it's all psychological. If you think about it, like, you have to just constantly be uploading, constantly be creating, constantly be doing this craft that you created, all the same time while trying to figure out the YouTube algorithm and, you know, looking at numbers. And you start to realize that it's 50% skill, 50% luck, and it's that 50% luck part that I have a hard time coping with. That I can put out a video that is just, I mean, one of my best videos I've ever thought, and it only get like 2,000 views. But then I put out just a random video and it get like 8,000 views. When I didn't put as much effort into it, I didn't think it was as good. And it kind of messes with your brain. And they were talking about how you can't let your goals become what you live for. And that definitely was the path I was headed down. And he said one thing that really just kind of stuck out to me. And he brought up some scientific studies about general happiness. And people think, people on YouTube always think like, oh man, if I just hit, 50,000 subscribers, I'd be so happy. Or if I hit 100,000 subscribers, I'd be so happy. But they brought up studies where they talked to lottery winners, and they said eventually your happiness level goes back to where it was prior. So it's like, if someone's winning over $1 million and, their happiness is not everlasting, then obviously if me hitting 100,000 subscribers is not going to be something that's going to quote-unquote make me happy. So I know this sounds super hippie and I don't know, childish is the right word, but I'm just trying to I sound like a broken girl who just got cheated on, but I've just been taking some time for myself lately. But as stupid as it sounds, it really has helped to kind of take some pressure off of me and just step back and realize at the end of the day it's just YouTube. Granted, I enjoy it, I love it, it has definitely made my life better, but I can't get distracted and let it make my life worse. But speaking of podcasts, a little change of subject here. That's actually what I'm headed up to go do right now, is record an episode of the Between Two Wheels podcast. If you haven't checked that out, link in the description. And the reason that you want to check that out is because right now I'm going up to record an interview with the one and only Adam Sandoval. I got in contact with Adam. Actually, Adam got in contact with me after the world record ride. And he let me know basically he is really serious about doing some collaborations in the future. And we've got a couple things in the very, 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 very early stages that I'm not even going to even hint details on. But one of the things he wanted to do was to do an interview, whether it be on the channel or the podcast, to really talk about the world record ride and also his falling out with Harley, because I kind of touched on it on my world record explanation video. So I decided the podcast would be a better platform for that, since it's probably going to be a lengthy interview. Our interviews usually are between 45 minutes to an hour long, and they've been getting some pretty good feedback. So far, we've had Dan the Fireman as well as John Maxwell on there. So if you're interested in either of those episodes, we have all of our episodes posted down in the website in the description. For a while I was uploading full episodes onto the channel, but I, along with the other guys, just decided that probably wasn't the best way to be broadcasting those. Plus it just really destroyed my stats, because people who either didn't understand that it was a full episode or just got bored halfway through, they only listened for like 2 or 3 minutes and then click away when the episode's an hour long, which just totally kills my retention percentage, and that really hurts how my videos get out and stuff like that. So but we've continued a constant upload schedule ever since we started, of every other Wednesday, I believe. It's either every other Wednesday or every other Thursday. We're pretty constant. We're usually 2 or 3 episodes ahead, so just in case anything happens, you still get your episodes on time. But I had a lot of people at the world record ride comment about the podcast, saying how they enjoyed it. And honestly, the podcast is one of those things that I'm doing to kind of get my brain off of it. I enjoy it a lot because it's so similar to motovlogging, but yet at the same time it's so vastly different, because I am just talking, but there's other people there, so the group dynamic is really cool. It's a lot more controlled than, say, a group ride or a dual vlog or something like that. Plus, all the content is pretty much created for me. I do not own the podcast. It is not my podcast. It's actually Roadblock who pretty much runs everything. Me and Ken are just kind of assistants, just kind of helping out. And that part of it's really cool for me because I don't really have to invest a lot of time, a lot of effort into it. I just get to show up, talk with my buddies, and then something is created. He does all the editing, all the publishing, handles all the websites, everything. So the best way I can describe it to people is I literally just show up and talk, and that's pretty much it, which is awesome because, like I said, it's a great time and we always have fun doing it. And so far the reception has been pretty good, especially after Maxwell's episode. A lot of his viewers came over and checked it out, and it's just something different. It's something I've never done before. I really just enjoy it. I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I've also been asked a couple times recently if I'm going to be going to the Florida Motovlogger meetup hosted by Blockhead and Photogrammer and all those guys. Maxwell's also trying to make it out there. And in short, no. I looked into flights and everything like that, and Miss Bird was like, yeah, sure, you can go, it sounds fun. And then I realized what date it was, and if you caught the episode where I showed my dad my tattoo, that those tickets I got for the UT game that game happens that weekend. So it was literally like the only weekend in November that I couldn't have made it out there. I wouldn't have ridden out there. I probably would have just flown out there and borrowed a bike or rented a bike or something. But unfortunately, I will not be making this one, nor did I make the AIM Expo, just because I didn't know that was happening. So I'm really bad at like knowing what events are coming up and things like that. So there's really no big events left for 2018 for me. I'm already kind of doing some initial planning for 2019. I definitely want to do some, actually I take that back. I don't want to say events, but we got the Big Bend trip coming up at the beginning of next month, which I am super excited for. Those videos should be coming up to you guys pretty soon. But I'm more excited for that trip than I was for the Paris trip. So that just gives you any sort of idea of where my excitement level is at. Well, guys, I think I pretty much covered everything I needed to touch on. If you have any questions for me that I didn't answer on any of the other videos or this video, please leave them down in the comment section below and I will answer them as soon as I possibly can. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't already, go ahead and punch that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.